Hi, I'm Steve Blum. I'm here at E3.
So talk a little about some of the video games people might have heard you in.
I was Grunt from Mass Effect. I am 1/3 of all the stormtroopers you've probably killed or been killed by. I was Grayson Hunt from Bulletstorm, Tank Dempsey from Call of Duty, and lots of other games.
What are your thoughts about how video games have evolved? We're here at E3 and it's all about next gen.
Yeah. Well, everything's gotten so much more cinematic and sophisticated. Sometimes we are working in teams in the booth, sometimes full cast reads, sometimes the performance capture. So the whole industry as a whole has just gotten more sophisticated, and we've all sort of grown up with this brand new technology. And I'm not very privy to a lot of it. I'm just a voice monkey, so I don't understand a lot of what you guys are even talking about out there.
What do you feel though, because one of the things about next gen is the ability to bring more facial expressions and more emotion. What impact do you see that having on actors who are working on games?
Well, I think anytime you get facial expression incorporated into a game that isn't generated by some computer, it's going to add a different sense of realism to it. And in a lot of the performance capture stuff, we are working together with a partner or with the full cast sometimes. So that any kind of interaction like that, I think, with the camera or with other actors is going to just improve the product.
How have you seen things evolved in the sense that it used to be everything was done in a booth, usually by yourself? Now there's multiple actors together on a performance capture stage with, in some cases, actual props and sets.
I don't do a lot of that kind of work. I'm not an on-camera actor, and so a lot of the on-camera guys are very comfortable with that. I'm actually pretty happy being in a booth without any of the technology strapped to me. And the new technology that's coming out doesn't require as many invasive dots on the face and things. They seem to be developing more technology now that is a little friendlier for my purposes. I did a little bit of performance capture before, but it's really way out of my comfort zone.
When you did do it, what particular game did you work on?
It was an ATV game for Sony years ago. It was one of the first things in this big cavern of a building. And I was wired up for sound doing my own stunts, and I think we ended up having to redo all the sound for it because the technology was really new at the time. So.
When it comes to video games, how big a part of that is that your work versus traditional Hollywood?
Well, for original animation, I'm known as Starscream from Transformers Prime, Wolverine from all sorts of incarnations of the X-Men in games and in original animation movies, except for the live-action stuff. That's out of my realm. Let's see, what else would you know? Regular show, I'm all over the regular show these days. I'm on Rescue Bots, which is another child-friendly version of Transformers. Superhero Squad, a ton of stuff, just a ton of stuff.
What's it like being able to voice a character in some of these shows and then bring them over to the video game side, as you've done with Wolverine as example?
It's really fun. Well, acting is acting, and so Wolverine is going to keep that same sensibility whether he's in a game or on TV. But it's just it becomes a more technical type of thing, I think, for video games, and the sheer volume of the lines that we have to record is enormously amplified in games. Sometimes we'll have to do 600 lines in a session, where in just an original animated show we'll be maybe doing 20 or 30 lines. And you still have to maintain that same quality of the performance throughout all of that. So that's the challenge in video games, really. But the transition, as far as the acting is concerned, is pretty much the same.
What are your thoughts about Transformers and how that's really evolved, especially on the video game side?
I'm very happy to be part of the Transformers franchise. I'm very grateful to get to. It's fun for me also to be able to play different characters in the video games. On my shows, I am relegated to my particular characters, but in the games, it seems like anything goes, and they'll throw 3 to 6 new characters at me with every game that I'm part of. So it's fun to sort of explore that universe and try out different things.